from Syarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University Jakarta, and thank you so much. I'm so excited that you are joining me on this lesson. In this video, we are going to take a look at the how to solve contextual word problem involving area and perimeter of a square. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before we solve the problem, I just should recognize this shape. Of course, it's a square. And a square is a special kind of quadrilateral. It's a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides, and it's special because all 4 sides are exactly the same length, and all 4 its angles are exactly the same size. In fact, they are right angles. Notice also that a square is formed by 2 pairs of parallel sides. These 2 opposite sides are parallel, and these 2 opposite sides are parallel. And then, the diagonals of square are equal. So, as you can see on the picture here, from a few important properties can be defined a square. And the next topic, you are probably pretty familiar with this concept, but we will revisit it. Yeah, perimeter. Perimeter is just a fancy math term that means the distance or length around a shape. But what exactly does the distance around a shape mean? Well, distance or length is a one-dimensional quantity that we can measure with units like centimeters, meters, inches, or miles. That means perimeter is also a one-dimensional quantity that we can measure with units of length. Okay? Let's say I have a square which has 4 sides and 4 right angles, and all of the sides are equal. Well, let's call them S. So, if AB is S, BC is S, then DC is S, and AD is S. All the sides are congruent. All of these segments are congruent. They all have the same measure, we'll call that S. So, if we want to figure out the perimeter here, it will just be S plus S plus S plus S, or 4 times S, which is going to be the formula of square perimeter. And then, let's jump to the next concept. Yeah, the next concept is area. Area is kind of a measure of how much space does this thing take up in 2 dimensions. And one way to think about area is, if I have a 1 by 1 square, it means you only have to specify 2 dimensions for a square because the other 2 are going to be the same. Well, the square is just a special case where the length and the width are the same. So if I have a square, let's call that ABCD. Let's say I want to find the area. To find the area of a square, all we have to do is multiply its 2 side dimensions together. They are usually called the length and the width. So the formula looks like this. A for area, L for length, W for width. But we know that all the sides of square are equal. So the area of a square can be A equal S times S, or S squared. What about units? For example, centimeter times centimeter. It just gives us square centimeters, which we can write like this using 2 as an exponent. So, whenever you see units like centimeter square, meter square, inches square, mile square, you know it's a measurement of 2-dimensional quantity area. The units are really important when you are talking about perimeter and area. I think it's the time to practice the lesson to solve the problem. In this morning, Jessica walked around the square park, which is the area of the park is 10,000 meters square. If she did 2 times around the park, how much did she walk? Alright, Now, we solve Jessica's problem. The first step, identify the problem. The park has a square shape. The area of the park is 10,000 meters square. Jessica walked around the park 2 times. Second step, develop the solution. We can illustrate the problem using the picture. Then, we can find the relation between the picture and the characteristic or properties of a square. The third step, evaluate or solve the problem. From the properties of the square, we know that all the sides of square are equal. Okay, let S be the length of one side of the square. We know that the formula of area is A equal S times S or S squared. From that formula, substitute the area of a square park. Then, take square root on both sides. We get the result is 100 meters. Now, we have to find out how much Jessica walked in around. Well, the problem means the absolute shortest distance possible around of the square park is equal to perimeter of the square. Alright, a good way to see the perimeter by imagine that you could walk right along the edge of a shape like this four sides of a square. Imagine starting at one of the polygon vertices and then walking along each side until you got all the way back to the point that you start from. The total distance you travel would be the perimeter of that shape. In this case, if the length of each side of the square was 100 meters, the total length Jessica traveled along all four sides will add up to 400 meters. We can write that in a mathematical way like this. Substitute the length of side to the formula. So, the perimeter of a square park is 400 meters. Notice here, 1 times around. And then, we have to find the distance if Jessica walked around the park in 2 times. And we got 800 meters. The last step, access the answer. Check your work again. We can conclude that Jessica walked around the park in 2 times is 800 meters.